So this is, if you look at the fundamental beliefs, there is there are three authorities in the fundamental beliefs. Number one is the Holy Scriptures. Number two is Number two is the church. Of course, you want to read the GC session votes, not just the productions of the votes, indirect, and the gift of prophecy by Ellen White. So at least the literature is that are stable. Ellen G. White doesn't write new things, and Bible doesn't evolve. You can check them. As for the church votes, there's a website for archives of GC session minutes, which I haven't made into a notebook yet because some of the minutes are handwritten. Anyway, for Bible and E.G. White, I got the whole Bible. By the way, the notebook LM limit per source is 500,000 words. And you can only put 3 sources per free notebook LM. So I sorted E.G. White writings into by date of publication. So you will see here, these are the first written books. Lifetime, Ellen G. White died in 1917. After that, everything else is a rewrite. It's a recompilation. Of course, the periodicals are also here. She wrote so many things in Review and Herald. And the posthumous compilations are here, like the councils. And ba yan? Okay. So many things. Christian service and so on. Posthumous. So let's ask, how to be the best Adventist school employee one can be? Okay, for example, teacher or superlative is the word. I found out in my experiments, if you want to have good answers, it's nice to put superlative requests. How to be the best Adventist school teacher you can be. How to be the best Adventist school teacher staff you can be. So let's see. Okay, it's still generating. Amazing. You ask one question, it replies in few minutes, and it gives you 155 references. Okay, you can read this. To be the best employee one can be an Adventist school environment requires a commitment that places spiritual life, character development, and missionary effort at the core of all duties and responsibilities. The sources provide extensive counsel for teachers. Sorry. Where is it? Teachers, managers, workers of Adventist institution, emphasizing, you can see the reference by clicking these ellipses. Because there are many passages that say relevant things, the same idea, and there are references like this. What happened? Cultivate deep spiritual life and character, the foundation. Okay. Be consecrated to God, daily communion with the Lord, earnest prayer, manifest perfection aim for perfection of character, be a learner, cultivate humility of Jesus, develop perfect self-control, unruffled under provocation, don't get angry. Maintain integrity, unswerving honesty, avoid jealousy, evil surmising, think no evil, maintain a high sense of virtue and purity. You see, these are all synthesized from different sources. You see, there are many sources. Moral independence. I like to read the word. Be upright in word and in action, free from all deception and subterfuge. Okay, light bearers, be faithful in little things. Let's see how many references that gives. Be diligent and earnest, avoid slothfulness in business. Do your utmost to perform every duty diligently. If you're a supervisor, ensure order and discipline are maintained. Do not allow anything present a slack or dilapidated appearance. Oh, diligently study the Word of God is the foundation of all education. Acquire thorough knowledge of the sciences and be proficient in your work, combining intellectual and spiritual growth. You see, Ellen White actually said that in Fundamentals of Education. Superficial knowledge is insufficient for usefulness. Use God-given abilities to obtain best knowledge how to be useful. If teaching, develop fresh ideas, tact, and spirit in your work. Sabbath school naman to. Testimonies in Sabbath school work. Be apt to teach testimonies in Sabbath school work. Learn how to use voice effectively for a forcible presentation of truth. Conduct examples. Teachers should be patterns of good works in doctrine and correctness, gravity, and sincerity. The example in simplicity of dress and deportment, reflecting the beauty of the natural and true. How many? Few references, yeah? Sabbath school work naman ito. Counsels to Sabbath school work, testimonies in Sabbath school, and advocate. Okay, it's another. Social and business dealings reveal the principles of heaven. Carry your religions. Focus on missionary work and soul winning. Teach Christ and prepare workers. Saving of souls is worth far more than intellectual training. We are to educate young men and women to go forth as laborers with God, to become missionaries. Train students for various missionary roles, nurse, evangelists, canvassers, Bible workers, and ministers. Instruct students how to obtain practical education, agricultural, mechanical. Wow, mechanical pala. Maybe I should enroll in TESDA. Okay, prepare them to be it's free anyway. Self-supporting missionaries like Paul strive to make instruction interesting and draw students to Jesus. Engage in personal work, coming close to the hearts of scholars with sympathy and love often involves visiting them at their homes, conversing with them. Oh, face to face, not only AI, yeah? Jesus calls this the one-man audience. In like Nicodemus and Jesus. Okay. And bearing to them the Father's throne in prayer. Be a giver of knowledge and blessing, not just a receiver. Utilize all opportunities of service, making the best use of entrusted talents. Those in positions of greater responsibility must meet the highest standard of character and management. Qualified for position, demonstrate that you are free from jealousy, prejudice, and really, you have to be qualified, taking dislike to individuals. Okay. Be a man of intelligence, capable of successful managing large interests with even temper, Christ-like forbearance, perfect self-control. Avoid being narrow-minded, a man of one idea. There are many options. Actively secure services of conscientious Christian workers. Wow, because they don't know everything. Ensure that the institution is run with sound, intelligent generalship and that things are well kept. Or leaders should keep their thoughts and impulses under the control of the great teacher. If unable to control others, they must first learn to control themselves. Avoid self-sufficiency. Realize that a responsible position does not exalt man. Your influence is determined by spiritual food. So amazing. Amazing. But I noticed most of it are Ellen G. White quotes because the Bible is so didn't use the common words that we use in education. That's why I made this AI to make sure, let's ask the same question. How to be the best Adventist school employee. That's why I made this AI, so that it will not look like most of our quotes are from the Ellen White writings only. The reason the Notebook LM gives Ellen White quotes is because Ellen White quotes have higher semantic similarity to the question. And the Bible, with all its old language, I did not put new versions of the Bible here because most of them have copyright, and the King James is at least public domain. So this is the result of the AI that I made. I told it, please put Bible verses first and then E.G. White quotes later. So you will see here, I hope it will give us Bible verses. At least here, a diligent study to show thyself approved. See? Same question, different AI, different prompt. I have a different instruction for this one. I don't know what is just the prompt for Notebook LM. It just treats everything as same. And it's very hard. If you copy and paste this one, you cannot, when you paste it somewhere, it doesn't include the references. It's just the summaries. That's why I made this one, so that when we copy it, for example, I copy it to Facebook. If I copy it to Facebook and paste it here, okay, it has references and it even has the bold, right? So when we post it, it looks nice. Nicer because of the references. We are nothing, my friends. We are just as good as our reference. Okay, so you see me answering very quickly with so many references because the AI help us. Okay, let's read. Of course, I want to read Bible. Study to show thyself approved, a workman that needeth not be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth, not slothful in business, fervent in spirit, serving the Lord. Romans. And we can verify here the contents and the context reviews and unlimited context reading. And you can zoom in if you want to project it in the screen. Okay, something like this. Okay, next quotation. Preach the word, be instant. There are two seasons in the Bible, in and out. You can reprove whether there is in season or out season, rebuke in season or out season, with all long suffering here. And doctrine, 2 Timothy 2:4. Okay. An example of the believers in word conversation, charity, spirit, faith, and purity, 1 Timothy 4:12. Okay, good, very good quotation. Perfect every man, present every man perfect in Jesus Christ. Okay, the only way to be perfect is to repent. This one is wrong. Maybe the Colossians spelling is different. Anyway, we can check this in Google if it's a hallucination or not. Yeah, it's there. Colossians. Oh, my spelling of Colossians is 1S. That's why it doesn't come out of the reference. Anyway, there are many ways to spell it. I don't know where I copied it from. Okay, now we have the Ellen White quotes. Never rest satisfied with low standard in attending school. Be sure you have a view of a noble holy object. Go because you desire to fit yourselves for service in some part of the Lord's vineyard. You can see this here, and the words are highlighted. And messages to young people. You can easily find where is it written if the paragraph is long. Okay, what else? One thing is certain, there is too little of the spirit of love amongst SDA, both in church and schoolwork. The workers and learners aim for too low standards. Counsels to Sabbath schoolwork. Aim for higher standard. Let us elevate the work to the highest possible standard, ever remembering that if we do our part, God will not fail to do His. Oh, we have a part, yeah? Of course. It's boring to do nothing. Faithfulness, economy, caretaking, thoroughness should characterize all our work. Yes, sir. Be faithful and thorough, even if it takes you longer. Learn to be steady and persevering. Have a purpose in all that you do and carry out that purpose. Really, what are they talking about here? Dear children, it's a letter. Affectionate your affectionate mother. What else? Take heed unto thyself, unto doctrine. Thyself needs the first attention. What do you mean? Let's see here. Okay. You let God fix yourself. Then you can be a more effective employee. The most impressive lesson that you can give out to those whom you educate will be of a Christ-like character. Amazing. Yes. I'm just checking the references if they are hallucinations or not. But I haven't found a hallucination based on these instructions I gave and the data I gave. Be courteous friend. The teacher should ever conduct himself as a Christian gentleman. He should ever stand in the attitude of a friend and a counselor to his pupils. If all our people, teachers, ministers, and lay members would cultivate the spirit of Christian courtesy, they would far more readily find access to the hearts of people. Many more will be led to examine and receive the truth. Keep ever before your students the thought that they are in a school to be fitted to act their part in helping others. Doing this, you cannot speak harshly to them. Neither can you be coarse and rough. So don't be like ADD and sino pa yung mga debatador dun? Okay, it should be the aim of our schools to provide the best instruction and training for Bible workers, evangelism 475, paragraph 1. Antong SPN. And whatever this is. Same thing. There should be companies organized and educated most thoroughly to work as nurses, evangelists, as ministers, as canvassers. By the way, this uses the same engine that the Messenger chatbot uses. But in here, you can verify and click easily the references and see the context easier. And here, you can copy and paste. And it's there's more organization, like there's lists. Okay, where are we? There should be companies educated most thoroughly as work. Okay, we already read that. Efficiency of every worker is largely determined by the education and the training he receives. That's why HR is training us to be more efficient. As collaborators together with God, you should come close to one another. Precious lessons of love, confidence, respect from one another must be given both in and out of the desk. Cultivate a disposition to esteem others better than yourself. So does somebody have a better idea? Oh, it's nice to ask like that. If you have an idea, it's also nice to say, this is one of the options. Not pushing the idea, just providing options. Less confident, cherish patience, forbearance, and brotherly love because nobody knows everything. Okay, you can copy that one and paste it in social media. It looks nice. And there are references. So this is the 2 examples of how we can do our work and find direction from the inspired writings. And if we have cases, what if there's like this and there's like this? You can also actually just put it here and it will try to find the relevant information. I hope it helps, my friends. Have a nice day.